I've been looking at Picasso's work for decades. I first came across it in the 1970s as a sixth former at my girls' grammar school in Leicester, through wandering around the city centre, where I hoped to forge my independence by finding something outside home and school which I could relate to. I found myself in Words, in a bookshop that sold poetry pamphlets typed on manual typewriters and stapled together by the poets themselves. And in an exciting newly opened remainder bookshop, I discovered images, pictures which suggested enticing worlds. The place was piled high with cut-price illustrated art books. Here were affordable glimpses of the world as depicted by modern artists, most of whose work I had rarely, if ever, seen before. I'd never heard of Picasso. I was studying French, English literature and music, not art, and a small paperback particularly caught my eye. On the front cover was Picasso's path-breaking work of 1907, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. Inside, the plates included Embracing Lovers from, I now know, his Rose period, Sick Child from his Blue period, The Red Armchair, inspired by his partner Marie-Thérèse, seated, Portrait of Dora Maar, the extraordinary Woman with a Crow, in which the figure is almost a crow, and the painting that still fascinates me beyond all others, called either La Tante or Margot, painted by the young Picasso in 1901 during his early days in Paris, when he was mesmerized by women who strolled the streets, cafes and bars of Montmartre. I carefully cut out some of the pages and stuck my Picassos on my bedroom wall. Shameful, the cutting out, but not entirely, as I still have the book. In those analogue days, we read fiction to transport ourselves into other worlds, other lifestyles, other times. And we also looked at paintings to imagine other worlds, other times. Though, while I was first discovering Picasso's work, the artist, who died in 1973, was probably still alive. I took to wandering along New Walk to Leicester's museum and art gallery, where I looked at paintings in the same way that I read fiction, perceiving them as doors into an alternative, creative way of life. Then I and friends took the train to London and did Portobello Road, Kensington High Street, to get our Bieber green nail varnish and plum-coloured eyeshadow from the store that felt more like a party than a shop, and discovered the National Gallery and the Tate. At that stage, there was only Tate Britain.